Northern NSW vets work to save hundreds of starving, suffering animals amid flood crisis. A vet in northern New South Wales says blatant animal cruelty is ongoing across the region, blaming a slow response by agricultural authorities for hundreds of animals being left to suffer and starve. Key points: Dr. Ros says there's been a pathetic response from agricultural authorities. He says animals have been left stranded and suffering and could have been saved. He has called on local and state authorities to contact him. To stay up to date with latest top stories, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking the button above this video. In the past week, Lismore-based large animal vet Bruno Ros has borrowed boats and received help from private helicopter companies to reach stranded animals. He said he and other vets worked tirelessly to rescue the horses and cattle they could and feed those they could find. "I was focused on emergency euthanasia and fodder dropping. There were so many animals we couldn't get to," he said. He said hundreds of cattle were still stranded and suffering. Dr. Ros said he was furious about the pathetic response by local and state agricultural authorities. "I've got images that are blatant animal cruelty through a slow and pathetic government response," he said. "It has been the most dysfunctional coordination. They were slow to come in, they haven't provided the resources they could have got hold of." He says many animals could have been saved with a simple fodder drop. Supplied, Bruno Ros. Dr. Ros said he had been trying to reach people in charge for days about the crisis, but had got no response. "Animals have been left stranded, starving. I suspect animals that could have been saved by a hay drop have died, and animals that should have been euthanized sooner have been missed," he said. "Unfortunately, so many animals have been lost. The horses and cattle left have severe injuries. The horses have major leg lacerations and infections, many have pneumonia. It's the same with the cattle, they've got sore feet. They're exhausted." The NSW government has established a hotline, 1800 814 647, to alert authorities to stranded, injured or perished livestock. Dr. Ros has called on local and state authorities to contact him so he and other vets can help lead them to the animals in need. "Nobody wants to come down there and talk because they don't want to be held accountable," he said. "It's absolute garbage that you can call a 1800 number and cattle will be federal. No one knows where these animals are, farmers haven't returned to the paddocks. How will they be fed?" This is what happens in a flood. New South Wales Agriculture Minister Bruno Ros said authorities had done everything they could to reach animals stranded across the region. "Since Thursday, when we could have choppers in the air safely, we have delivered fodder," he said. "There have been surveillance flights to find animals in need too." He denied authorities had been slow to respond. "This isn't animal cruelty. This is what happens in a flood. We've seen whole herds wash down rivers, we've seen horses on balconies," he said. "This is a disaster beyond everything we've ever seen before, so to expect to know where all the animals are is a bit unreasonable." He said the hotline was crucial for authorities to coordinate efforts with locals who need help. Mr. Saunders said authorities had removed 650 dead animals from properties already, and the toll was expected to increase.